For a small business owner, every day is full of surprises. Some great, some not so great. Like when a client cancels their order at the last minute. But here's a surprise you will like. Progressive provides small business owners with 30 customizable coverage options to help keep their business going strong. So go ahead, surprise yourself. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and third-party insurers. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
This Valentine's Day, celebrate the one you love the most with Hallmark cards at Walgreens. Valentine's Day is the best time to send your favorite person a reminder of just how much they mean to you. A Hallmark card is a super simple and beautiful way to say how grateful you are for the love you two share. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. Visit Walgreens today to find a Hallmark card that shows just how much you love them. Because love lives here.
What's going on? I'm Arch Manning, Viore athlete and college quarterback. Whether I'm running, training, traveling, or just unwinding at home, I love doing it in my core shorts from Viore. With a breathable boxer brief liner, they're quick to dry, super versatile, and stand up to even my most intense training sessions. Plus, they come in 3 inseams and a ton of colors. Ready to try pair? Go to viore.com/arch and get 20% off at checkout. I think you're going to love them as much as I do. That's VUORI.com/ARCH and get 20% off your first order. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Have a great day.
Welcome back. This is Raising Howl. I'm your host, Jeremy Harper. You are on the Believe Network. And, it's been a while. I apologize. Sorry about that. We all had things to do. I had things to do. I've been doing stuff. It's that weird time of the year, right? It's February. Usually the coldest time of the year. Usually when we start playing some baseball, right? And we start canceling baseball games because the field is as hard as a rock or too wet or it's too cold or what have you. Yeah, a new playing surface. Maybe we'll have a little less of that. Baseball's coming up, but we're not going to talk about baseball right now. We'll talk baseball in a little bit. Right now we're going to talk about the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. You remember that, right? First game of the year. Arkansas State goes to Ohio. Wins 89-85. The latest iteration, Bowling Green comes down to Jonesboro, and we destroy Bowling Green 91-54. It's the second win in the row for the Red Wolves after beating Coastal Carolina just a few days before that. By the way, that Coastal Carolina game, that was something else, right? It was kind of going like a usual Red Wolves game, where the Red Wolves jump out to like a 9-10 point lead. Red Wolves are firing on all cylinders. It looks like they have a pretty good game plan. Coastal Carolina adjusts, and suddenly Arkansas State is playing from behind. And they did. They played from behind for much of that game. Except with about a minute 30, I forget the exact time. Arkansas State goes on like a 10-0 run. Wins the game. 70-66. I don't, what struck me about that game was that I've been complaining for a while about this A-State men's basketball team, that they don't have a killer instinct, right? They jump out to these leads, and they don't know how to hold on to it, right? But something happened in that Coastal game where they should have lost the game. The announcers said, we're already packing it in. They're already counting that W for Coastal. I didn't blame them. Arkansas State gets a three-pointer. They force the turnover, get another bucket. Suddenly they're hot. They win the game. Like a killer instinct had finally emerged. Great game to win on the road. It's a Coastal Carolina team that, like all Sun Belt teams, not very great, but Pretty good this year. Not doing too bad. Better than most years. Arkansas State wins the game, and then they come out and just totally shatter Bowling Green. It's not even a contest. Bowling Green's probably like, why did we even come down here? This doesn't help us at all. It doesn't. And that's the thing with the MAC Sunbelt Challenge. I don't know if it really helps anybody at all. The Sunbelt did really good in the Sunbelt MAC Challenge, especially, with hosting everybody at their home venues. There are a couple losses. That number 23 Miami of Ohio. Still undefeated, by the way. I think the only undefeated team in all of college basketball. They beat a pretty good Marshall team, a Marshall team that beat us. Coastal, the team we just beat, took care of a former basketball powerhouse, UMass. App State, always good. Let's face it, App State just plays solid basketball. They beat Eastern Michigan. Georgia State, I think this is their second 1-point loss in a row. They lose to Northern Illinois, 75-74. Texas State, do we care? They beat Western Michigan. I guess that's just officially a win for the Sun Belt. Hard luck, ULM Monroe, our next opponent. They fall to Ball State. We talked about Bowling Green, Arkansas State. South Alabama dispatches Buffalo pretty easily, 81-69. Nice. The Cajuns, what about these Cajuns? Suddenly just playing capable basketball. Open the season playing terrible basketball. New head coach, everybody was like, all right, this is the new Cajuns. These guys are going to be pretty good. Look out for the Cajuns. Cajuns really sucked. They're not so bad. They're 9-16. They're not going anywhere this year, but they're not an easy opponent. They take out Central Michigan, 85-80. Central Michigan, not very good either. James Madison gets a win. Hard luck, James Madison. Woo, what happened to those guys? Picked to finish first this year. And, a lot of times I've noticed that in basketball. If you did well last year, the coaches are just going to assume you're going to do good this year. Well, James Madison, the Dukes are not doing well. Under 500. But they do beat Toledo by a bucket. Troy keeps rolling. They take care of Akron. Old Dominion, who beat us, beat Ohio, who we beat in the first round of the MAC Challenge. But the MAC Challenge, did that do anything for anybody in the MAC to come down all the way down south, interrupt their conference play, and play these games? I don't know. I don't think so. Miami, they get the good win over Marshall, I guess. We get some solid home wins that don't count as much at home. MAC takes it on the chin for their net rankings. And that won't really apply to anybody except maybe Miami of Ohio. That might come a factor. I don't know. And yet it was a good game for Arkansas State. Good game for just good defense, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for. Still not very good at the free throw line. That bugs me a little bit. One thing we did, we held the Falcons of Bowling Green to 8% from the three-point line. They fired up 24 shots and made 2. Now, let me tell you something. I feel like Arkansas State usually allows a three-point shooting team to do well. I don't know what it is. I don't understand basketball. I don't pretend to. But to me, it always seems like a three-point shooting team against Arkansas State will do well. Even a team that doesn't shoot the three-pointer well will do okay against Arkansas State. Arkansas State shot 42% from the three-pointer. That had me worried. I feel like Arkansas State at home doesn't shoot very well at the three sometimes. It's confusing. Chris Harmon, who I was pretty low on at the beginning of the year. I think he started off really slow from the three. 6 of 10 from the 3-point line. 6 of 10. All of his shots were 3-pointers. 18 points total. Yeah, so pretty good. I don't know. It was a good win for Arkansas State. Did it have much? Will it have much impact other than the emotional boost? I don't know, because the Sun Belt MAC Challenge, I don't know if it's doing what's supposed to do, which was to give a net boost to both conferences. Will it do that? I don't know. At the very least, it's supposed to establish a kind of rivalry, right? Oh, those bastards from the MAC. We got to beat those guys. Does anybody feel that way about the MAC? You know, I respect the MAC. I do. I feel like the MAC is a really solid, underrated, under-the-radar conference. For basketball, those guys just play tough basketball. You know, it's sort of a winter conference. Long winters, being indoors, practicing free throws, getting in the layup line, hours and hours, just staying warm. And football, just also a good conference, not maybe as good as it could be, not like like some of the others. But basketball, I expect the MAC to be good. So I have respect for the MAC. I don't have hatred for the MAC. Like if it were a Sun Belt Conference USA challenge, I don't have respect for Conference USA. I have a little hatred for Conference USA. I think I'd be more interested in that. Even if it didn't provide the net boost that I wanted, at least I would have that coal of hatred to keep me warm. Bowling Green comes to town like, oh, hey, Bowling Green. Somebody from Conference USA comes to town. I'm like, okay, we got to beat those guys. The women fell. That was rough. And I'm trying not to be disappointed with that, right? I mean, they had to go up north. That's a hard situation to do, especially you tear yourself away from conference play. And then suddenly you have to play, who are we playing? Eastern Michigan. And I watched some of that game. I was actually in Portland, Oregon, visiting my son. Went and watched a Grizz game. Grizz versus Portland. Don't ask me how that turned out. But yeah, I get to watch a little bit of Arkansas State versus Eastern Michigan. And let me tell you, Eastern Michigan, they put out some pretty tough women out there. They had some big women. I kind of knew that we might be in trouble when Eastern Michigan were down by 5 at the half. They come up with the turnover with something like 5 seconds left. Chuck up a 3 and make it. So they're only down 2 going into that. Maybe less. I can't remember exactly how that was, but that did put a little something in my stomach. I don't want to be disappointed that the women lost. I want the women now to win every single basketball game. That's how I feel about this women's basketball team. I feel like they should win every game. If you had asked me this after the UCA game, when UCA just made Arkansas State look awful, I would have been like, okay, lose to Eastern Michigan, I get it. They lost in overtime. Arkansas State couldn't quite close escrow. 76-73. Away. All the way out there in Michigan. I can't even pronounce the town. The name of the town. It's one of those glorious Michigan names. Somebody will have to tell me how it's pronounced. Kristlyn Rose, your leading scorer for Arkansas State, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, I don't know if she will ever become like a monster stats person for Arkansas State. Not the way that Arkansas State plays. They substitute out so often. Fresh bodies on the floor. Everybody gets their points for Arkansas State. But Rose is probably one of the best women's basketball players I've seen come out of Arkansas State. Maybe one of the best basketball players. She plays with this chip. She's not big. She's a small kid, but she's quick. She has a pretty shooting motion. Just classic basketball player, classic baller, just fun to watch. Charges through the paint. She can hit the three. Like, I'm somebody who's a big fan of Izzy Higginbottom. I loved watching Izzy Higginbottom play. I might like watching Rose play even better. Rose seems to make everybody around her better. Higginbottom didn't always do that. Higginbottom, sometimes it always felt like Higginbottom's like, okay, I got to take over this game. Rose seems more part of the team. I'm not taking anything away from Higginbottom. She was something special. But Rose, I always like to say to my sons when they were playing lacrosse or baseball or whatever they were playing, I was like, a good teammate makes his teammates better. It's not about your own statistics or your own accomplishments. It's about everyone around you becoming a better player because you were there. And that's Kristlyn Rose. Anyway, I guess I'm regaining some of my excitement back for A-State hoops, men's hoops. I'm getting some of that excitement back. I was losing it. I'll admit it. Beat Coastal Carolina, beat Bowling Green. Okay. Let's see what we do with ULM. We still have an outside shot of getting to 20 wins. 6 games left. Officially, Arkansas State has, the 15-10. I think they're 16-10 officially, but you kind of have to throw out that Division II game, right? You have to throw that out. So really, let's just be honest. Arkansas State's 15-10. They got UL Monroe on Wednesday. Should be a win. Then you get South Alabama, and those guys, we know it. We always have trouble with the Jags. They got that zone defense. Then we go to the Cajuns. Should be a win, but oh my God, the Cajuns have been playing great. And it's in Lafayette. Then we go see Monroe again. All right. 2 wins on Monroe, maybe. It should be. It better be, right? Finish the season at home. One with Southern Miss. Solid team. And then back with Louisiana. Honestly, we can get those 20 wins just here. Yes, I know the wins also count for the tournaments, for the Sun Belt tournament. I want the crisp 20-win regular season. That's what I want. And that means winning 5 of 6 of these games. I think Arkansas State can do it. Baseball's coming up. I have to admit, the baseball had a sort of a press event. I didn't attend. I didn't check in. I rarely cover baseball. If I cover baseball, sometimes it's usually to lament how bad the baseball team is. I don't think we're going to be doing that this year. It's nice. Arkansas State gets a pair of players on the all Sun Belt team. Yeah, 2. We haven't had even one player on it since like 2020. You hear me typing because I want to give you the names. I want you to know who's on the team.
This Valentine's Day, celebrate the one you love the most with Hallmark cards at Walgreens. Valentine's Day is the best time to send your favorite person a reminder of just how much they mean to you. A Hallmark card is a super simple and beautiful way to say how grateful you are for the love you two share. Don't forget, Valentine's Day is Saturday, February 14th. Visit Walgreens today to find a Hallmark card that shows just how much you love them. Because love lives here.
The secret is out. With millions of younger-looking customers across the country, Plexiderm is one of the most highly sought-after products on the market. It visibly shrinks under-eye bags and smooths out crow's feet in minutes, and the effects last up to 10 hours. Influencers love it, magazines feature it, and people just can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, Elle magazine gave it an Editor's Choice Award as Best Instant Wrinkle Filler for 2025. In as little as 10 minutes, Plexiderm reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and those dreaded under-eye bags. So yes, you can look years younger in minutes, and the effects last for hours. No surgery, no gimmicks, just results. The best news, you can try Plexiderm for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Don't wait. Order Plexiderm today. Visit plexiderm.com/special. That's plexiderm.com/special. Paid for by Sheer Science.
Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might just sell credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/secure. Protect yourself now at aura.com/secure.
Which is too bad because now I have to pronounce their names. We have our shortstop, Patrick Ingskov, kid from Little Rock. Ashton Quiller, sophomore outfielder. He's from Louisiana. Arkansas State's picked to finish 9th this year. I think, what was it? We finished something like 5th or 4th or something last year, but now we're picked to finish 9th, with there's actually some respect for us. Let's put a little respect on us. I think we've got some of the elements that we need to compete in baseball now. We're putting money into the program. We just cut the ribbon on a new facility, indoor facility. We got Coach Schlitt. We got a new coach. Suddenly forget his name. That's what it is with baseball with me. I just forget. It's not going to be a season where we're just going to win the Sun Belt. It's not. It's not going to happen. There are just too many great Sun Belt teams. Coastal Carolina, the overall number one consensus pick. Southern Miss coming in second. Troy is a great team. Picked to finish 3rd. The Cajuns picked to finish 5th. The Cajuns, the famous Cajuns. Remember, they were the team that from the Sun Belt that was always like the Gold Star team, the Prime Meridian. They're picked to finish 5th. It's going to be a great baseball season. Going to enjoy it. One thing I want to enjoy, though, is softball. Another year goes by, and Another year without Arkansas State fielding a team. It's too bad. You know, you always ask about softball. You'll bring it up to who's ever athletic director and say, hey, well, we're going to field a team. Oh, we're looking at it. Yeah, we got plans. Okay. I don't think we really have plans. That's fine. You know what? As long as we continue playing capable basketball, as long as we continue to improve with baseball, as long as the football team isn't dead last, I will take the sacrifice of softball, but I would love to watch or at least have a rooting interest in softball for Arkansas State. I would like that. I actually think it's a more fun game to watch at times than baseball. Sure. The women get after it. The women play a good game with softball. I like watching it. And we're missing out. We're not in the discussion. Sucks. But all right, give me a baseball team that competes. And I'll let this slide. You'll let it slide. You'll be like, sure, we don't have softball, but man, check out that baseball team. Transfer portal slowing down. Yeah. I'm talking about the football transfer portal. It's kind of done its business. It's like something I like to watch now. Because the transfer portal plays such a huge role now in college football. Then Arkansas State took its hits, right? We lost some guys that were useful. I'm talking about Jalen Rayner. I'm talking about Tyler Fortenberry. Why the heck did Walker Davis leave us? Going to SAU? Royce Bacoum? Chattanooga? Riley McGee? We could have used you, Riley McGee. He's going to Memphis. Couple guys. Haven't gone really anywhere yet. Jaquiz Cross. He's still available. Cornerback Josh Stone. Brian Whitehead, I'm not even sure if he's eligible, but he's in there. Remember Zuri Madison, the lineman from Arkansas? Big guy. Kind of a cool get. I was like, all right, this guy instantly upgrades our offensive line. Came for a cup of coffee. He's back in the transfer portal. Running back Cedric Hawkins still looking for a new home. I would have loved to see Hawkins stick around. I don't know, maybe he comes back. You know, there's some guys that have jumped in and then they've come back, which is always fun, right? It's always like, okay. It used to be, hey, if you jump in, forget it. We are never welcoming you back again. You have betrayed us. F you. One of those guys was Tristan Smith, right? Our best offensive lineman. Got injured at the end of the year. Really needed him. He withdrew his name. He was in. Now he's out. He was in, now he's out. Thank God. We really needed him. Remember Javonte Mackey? Oh, Javonte. Yeah, well, the funny thing about Javonte Mackey is when he was a freshman at Arkansas State, I saw him at the spring game, and he really stood out just physically as a specimen, right? He just really stood out. I was like, this is an NFL guy. He's huge. Plays a season with Arkansas State, goes to Memphis. Has an injured year, comes back to us. And it was like, welcome back, brother. You're with us again. toyed around with the idea of making him a defensive end. He's a big guy. It would not have been an unusual thing to make him a defensive end at Arkansas State. We tend to have undersized defensive ends do well. I was glad to see him back at linebacker, though. That's where they ended up putting him back, and he had some good games. It was probably the only decent thing that happened at Kennesaw State. The guy put up a lot of tackles. He was everywhere at Kennesaw State in that loss. And then he's gone. I don't know. There's all kinds of stories and rumors. I won't get into it. But then he was off the team. He's with Texas State now. Going to the Pac-12. Good for you, brother. I hope you enjoy the Pac-12 and Texas State. Texas State, they always seem to get guys from us, and that's fine. Hope it works out. I do. I hope whatever Javonte Mackey is looking for, he finds it. I do. I'm not this mean person. Also going with him, Jordan Sample. Yeah, it's sad to see him go. A good special teams guy. Probably could become a pretty good safety for us. He went to Texas State too. And that's fine. Anyway, we're at that period now where in the Sun Belt in general, we're seeing the guys that aren't really going to go anywhere. They jumped into the portal for any reason. You can jump into the portal. You might even be pushed into the portal. That's a story that probably needs to be covered more. There are probably guys that are being told, hey, listen, you're not going to get your playing time here. You need to test the portal. Okay. And finds out there's really no place for these guys. And that's actually too bad in a lot of ways. It's too bad, one, that the portal exists anyway in the way it's being used. But it's also too bad that's become this sort of, I don't know, this alter dimension to toss away guys that you don't want anymore. That's not fair. It used to be you were committed to the guy. Oh, he's not quite getting the playbook? Did he not reach the size you wanted him to reach? Is he a little slower than you anticipated? Well, you worked with that guy. You made him into a better football player. And if he didn't work out to become an ultimate football player, at least you did what the football team was supposed to do, which was teach him about teamwork, how to be a man, how to live in the real world, how to work, suffer the slings and arrows of disappointment. Now it's like, oh, just go into the transfer portal. Maybe something will work out for you. I've wiped my hands clean. Anyway, you can look at howlrazor.com for an updated list of who's in the transfer portal, where they have gone. And it's a little bit more than 50% of players have found new teams. And yes, it's a lot of power fours now. Just selecting talent. The group of five, the Sun Belt, they put the effort into training these guys. Power four comes in with the bag of money. How lazy is that, by the way, Power four? I mean, money just is the lazy way to fix things, right? Forget it. I'm not going to complain about that. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the show kind of on a nostalgic note, on a sort of wax poetically about our former coach, Gus Malzahn. You remember Gus? I don't know if you guys remember 2012. Some of you are too young. Some of you just have lost your memories. Too old. But man, that was an exciting time, 2012. I'll set the stage. 2011, Hugh Freeze leads A-State to a 10-win season, a Sun Belt excellence in Jonesboro, and then Ole Miss comes in and takes Hugh Freeze. Now, a lot of guys like Hugh Freeze. A lot of people, especially in Jonesboro, where if you're a man of faith and you wear it on your sleeve, you are going to be a popular guy in Jonesboro. And that's who Hugh Freeze was. He was sort of effusive about his faith, but he was also really good at coaching football. Those are the two things you need to do, right? Coach Blake Anderson, effusive about his faith, not always great at coaching football. So he's a mixed bag. But Hugh Freeze, he checked off both boxes. And he left, and people were upset. I was upset. But then within, days of his departure comes the announcement that Gus Malzahn is going to coach Arkansas State. And wow. This is the guy, he's at Auburn. He's the former, the assistant coach of the year. The Broyles Award winner. He's the guy that made Cam Newton a superstar. That year, his offense is the one in the national title game with Oregon. Oh my God. What a coup. A legend in Arkansas. Something about Mitch Mustaine. I don't remember how that worked out, but we got Gus Malzahn. And it was cool, man. It was like anything felt possible. It was like, oh, wow, we lost Hugh Freeze and we traded for Gus Malzahn? Holy hell. I mean, that sparked a lot of unreal expectations at Arkansas State. Suddenly we're going to go to the Big 12. We're going to be in the top 25. We're going to play in a New Year's Bowl. Hell, I thought we were going to beat Oregon. Oregon blew us out. I remember I met Gus Malzahn. For a while there, I worked at an ad agency that was working with Arkansas State and on its athletic department. We didn't do a whole lot. We did a little bit. But Gus Malzahn and his wife come in, and Christy was delightful. But you could tell Gus, interested in football, maybe not interested in the minutia of marketing football. But the one thing he and his wife both agreed on is no Gus Bus, he said. We are tired of Gus Bus. Please do not say Gus Bus. It's too late for that. We're all on the Gus Bus. Yeah, the official marketing never said Gus Bus, but we were all on the Gus Bus. And like I said, that Oregon game came along. Marcus Mariota was the freshman quarterback at Oregon. I thought to myself, freshman quarterback, we can get to that guy. Future Heisman winner. I think Chip Kelly was the coach. Immediately put a touchdown on us. And then just to be jerks, 2-point conversion, 8-0. That's how that game started. So yeah, I mean, the expectations were so high. I thought we were going to win that Oregon game. Yeah, he wanted 10,000 people at the spring game. We didn't get 10,000 people, but it was like 8. It was a lot of guys that showed up at that spring game. Remember the running back? Yeah, we got this running back that we weren't supposed to get. God, what was his name? Michael Dyer, that's right. I think he played for North Little Rock and ended up at Auburn. And he was coming here. He came here. Never ran a down for us. Ended up getting kicked off the team for something that was pretty silly. Had a firearm in the trunk of his car, which he showed to the state trooper. Nowadays, everybody would just roll their eyes on that, but that was a big scandal back then in 2012. Anyway, we didn't get Michael Dyer. We didn't get 10,000 people at the spring game. We didn't beat Oregon. We lost the first conference game of the year to Western Kentucky. I remember sitting in the stands for that one going, what the hell is happening here? I thought it's time to dampen expectation. Didn't lose another game after that. Won a Sun Belt championship. Ended with that legendary destruction of Middle Tennessee. I ran onto the field with my son. A couple days later, he ends up going to Auburn. People were mad. I was mad. I was more mad at Gus Malzahn leaving than Hugh Freeze. Gus Malzahn had said a couple weeks before the Middle Tennessee game that, yes, he had received overtures, but his heart was in Jonesboro. He was going to stay there, and then he didn't. Nowadays, I wouldn't be so mad because that's just the business of it. The bag is too heavy. I can't say no to that bag. Malzahn ended up going to Auburn, had a few good years. He's retiring. He announced his retirement. I think he was the Florida State offensive coordinator, said, I'm done. I'm good. I don't know if he stays retired. I don't know. You know, a good job comes along, I bet he jumps back in. But for now, he's retired. And it got me thinking, could 2012 ever really happen to Arkansas State again? It used to be you can make a wow coaching hire, and that coach could do wonders with recruiting, right? Just pick up some really good guys. Maybe he builds on some guys before. Malzahn, he had a lot of Malzahn had a lot of Freeze guys. And there were a lot of other guys from the coach before him, too. But Malzahn, man, he was an excellent X's and O's guy. Big bubble screen guy. That guy, he was a genius at creating offense out of nothing. He made Ryan Applin, he and Freeze made Ryan Applin a superstar. Can something like that ever happen at Arkansas State again with the transfer portal? With NIL money being the number one contributing factor to build a team? It used to be about culture, right? It used to be about, hey, you want some playing time? You want to be a star? You want to lead a team? You will have your chance here. Arkansas State. Now it's how much you paying me. How heavy is that bag? We don't have heavy bags. Sorry, it's Arkansas State. You want a heavy bag? You want to play in Arkansas? Go to Arkansas. They've got all the money in the world. They'll say they don't, but they do. They've got plenty of money. Go play at Arkansas. You be a third stringer at Arkansas. Make your money. That's fine. I don't blame you. Hey, if I were a freshman and somebody said, hey, I'm going to give you $150K to be the fourth string guy, well, I'm going to say no to that? I'm not going to say no to that. So could something like Gus Malzahn coming to Arkansas State and really elevating a program to a height that, I don't know, was unrealistic? Just think about 2012, what we thought was going to happen. We thought we were going to be a top 25 team. We thought we might end up in a Power 5 conference. None of that happened. But we thought it could happen. It felt like it could. It felt like that could happen. That feeling's gone. It's not just from Arkansas State, but any real G5, G4, G6, whatever you want to call us. That opportunity is pretty much gone. Texas State, they're going off to Pac-12. They think they got that. They don't have that. Everything they've got is artificial. Hell, even joining the Big 12, even that has lost its luster. Sorry, Big 12. It's just not the same anymore. Anyway, good luck and happy retirement to Coach Malzahn. Yeah, I miss the times that you brought. I thought you were a great coach. And I raise my cup of coffee to you.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.